What's up, Internet? Welcome to the Cigar City Book Club Coffee Break. I'm your host, Dad Diaz. I'm the author of the Cigar City Case Files, a hard-boiled detective series set in Tampa. It follows the exploits of an active duty firefighter who's a bail bondsman and a PI on his days off. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about one of my favorite authors, maybe my favorite author, Dennis Lehane. Dennis Lehane, I first stumbled on him when the movie with Casey Affleck, Gone Baby Gone, came out. It looked really good, and then I found out it was a book, and I was like, oh, well, I got to read the book first. Just ask my wife. She hates when I find out that the movie we want to watch is based on a book. So I said, well, I got to read the book first. So I went out to read the book, and I quickly realized, hey, there's a lot of inside baseball here. There's stuff that I'm missing. So this must be a sequel. And it was. I think it's book 4 in the series. And so I said, I got to find the first one. And the first one is A Drink Before the War. And man, you got to put your big boy, big girl pants on to read it. It takes on some heavy material. But I don't think there is a better book than a better way to introduce a character or a case in all of crime fiction than the opening chapter of A Drink Before the War. It's seen as a master class in how to set up characters and how to use them and have them interact while still being very believable, keeping their own identity. It's great. So when Patrick goes in and he talks to the three politicos, Sterling Mulkern, Brian Paulson, and Jim Vernon, and he goes to talk to them, and they give him the case, and but just watching the interaction between these power players and how they interact, it just and so much is told in Kinsey's perception and his interaction with these very powerful characters too. And it gives us a good glimpse into that glib snark that's going to become very, very, very prevalent in all of the Kinsey books. And it gives us a little bit of insight into his character, how he has a self-aware cynicism that I think really defines the hard-boiled genre. I think in a lot of ways, Kinsey is a take on a take on the classic genre that in ways that I don't think you see in other detective fiction. To be honest with you, he's funny without being a clown, and he sees the world through a very tainted kind of lens, and you get that through his sharp wit and his cynicism, and you realize that he has these barriers that serves as a barrier against the world and a judgment on the world outside, and I think it's great. And another thing about him is, and it must be something about Boston PIs, because he's the most philosophical PI since Spencer, right? Robert Parker Spencer. And I like that about him. He's got this kind of ability to take a punch and crack a joke, but he still sees the world kind of for what it is, as a tragic mess. And he views this mess, I will say, he's a little more cynical, a little harder edge, I think, anyway, than Spencer. Spencer feels a little more literary, a little more, we'll be talking about him, I promise. But he feels a little more literary and a little more maybe academic than his predecessor. But at the same time, Patrick does a great job of having this underlying morality that he tries to cling to. And it is a struggle sometimes, and I'm not going to say any more than that. But he does still have that moral code underneath. The Kinsey stories are smart, they're engaging, but what really makes these books memorable to me is Lehane's voice and the character, specifically Kinsey. He's great, and I love him. But anyway, this is only supposed to be a short clip. I could go on forever. I promise we're going to have more coming up. This one's going to be hard to trim the fat. It's going to be hard to keep. It's going to be hard to keep quiet on some of this stuff, because I'm a big fan of Lehane and specifically the Kinsey Gennaro series. So I got a lot to say about it. But that's it for now. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good day.